How many of you judge people based on your capacity or incapacities? This is what I mean. So I was having a conversation the other day with someone very close to my heart, and we started talking and we entered into a conversation where we were talking about the issue of adoption. So when you adopt a child, so we were talking basically in the Nigerian context, the Nigerian society. We were saying, I was saying, that someone can adopt a child and still love the child like it's their own child, and like there would be no difference in the treatment, right? And the other person was saying, oh, it's a lie. In this Nigerian society, that there's no way you can adopt a child and love them the same way you would love your own child, that there's always going to be that difference. So, that just opened my eyes to, there was like a deeper thing sitting within what he or she was saying. And it was the fact that we use our own capacity or incapacity, for lack of a better word, to judge the capacities of other people or the incapacities of other people. Look at it this way. I think that this particular concept applies in the different types of relationships that we have with partners, with our friends, with our parents, with our siblings, all over, with our work colleagues, whereby someone tells us something that seems not like out of the blue, but then it seems like, it's not possible to us. And then we use that because we can't phantom it. We can't phantom us doing it by ourselves, or we can't phantom us having that capacity to do so. Then we use that to judge the other person's capacity. So someone comes, so for instance, I tell my friend that, oh, okay, I want to adopt a child and I'm going to love this child the same way I would love my own child. Like, I'm going to try my best to love this child the same way I would love my own child. And then your friend tells you, oh, that's not possible. In this society, that's not possible, things like that. Then you start judging other people based on your own incapacity. Just because you can't phantom yourself doing the same thing doesn't mean that other people cannot do it. And the reason why, the funny thing is that sometimes the reason why we try to not intentionally put other people down, I don't know if it's intentional sometimes, but then the reason why sometimes you may feel like someone can't do something is because you have not seen yourself having the capacity to do the same thing, and that's why you can't phantom seeing it in other people. So I remember I also used to have this conversation with someone, and I would tell the person that, oh, when I'm going to eventually start dating, or when I'm eventually going to start looking for like a serious life partner, this is how my partner is going to be. This is how I want my partner to be able to think. Like, he should be able to think on this frequency. This is how we're going to raise our family. These are the rules. These are the things that we're going to be doing for each other. Things like that. And then the person is like, that's not possible. And the funny thing is that when you look at that, the person only said that's not possible because in the person's mind, it's not possible to them. They don't have the capacity to see that that can be true. They don't have the capacity to bring that idea to life. They don't have the capacity to work to see that that can be possible. And so therefore they throw that incapacity onto you as well and say and tell you that, oh, you cannot do this thing. This is not true. And so I think that the thing is that as we go through life, we should have it in mind that sometimes just because we can't phantom the possibility of a certain thing, or just because we can't phantom the possibility of something coming to pass, or we can't phantom the possibility of working out something, we shouldn't throw that incapacity that we see in ourselves onto other people. I think it's even quite different. It's a better place to be where you even recognize that, where you have that recognition, because sometimes, okay, you can accept that, okay, you can never be able to do that, but then don't throw that onto other people. So I think having that awareness, I think this kind of helps to bridge the gap, or helps to solve the problem a little bit. You can accept your incapacity. Nobody's going to hold you accountable for that, right? It's your life. You can do whatever you choose to do. But then when someone else sees a different possibility, just because your own mind has not been able to capture that possibility, don't be the person that tramps down whatever they're trying to build, that tramps down whatever idea that they're trying to share. Don't be that person that waters down the light or the idea that they have gotten. Don't be that person. Don't be the negative person who is going to say, oh, that this is not possible and that is not possible. Have that awareness that sometimes you can have incapacities in some places in your life or in some areas in your life. And because I have that awareness, I'm not going to throw that onto other people. I'm aware that, okay, there's some things I cannot do, yeah, or there's some things I don't think I have the capacity to do. But if someone comes and tells me that they want to do something, I'm not going to be that person who is going to tramp down that idea. I'm not going to be the person who's going to water down that idea. I think having that at the back of your mind puts you in a better place, or puts you in a better perspective, helps you see things better. For those of you watching, you've probably in your friendship circles, or maybe even at home, I feel like it's really common at home, like in the family setting as well, and then maybe in your friendship circles as well, where you feel like you can do something. I think you can think back to times where you've told your friends something, or you've told your parents something, or maybe even your siblings, this is what you see, this is what you think is possible in this particular area of life, this is what you think is possible for you, and then the next thing they are doing is like, oh, it's not possible, things like that, just because they don't have the capacity, they don't see themselves as having that capacity to be able to do so they throw that onto you, right? Yeah, I hope this helps.